Thanks for tuning in to this edition of Positively Montana. I'm Hallie Schwarin. Each week we travel the state looking for stories and people that inspire. Let's begin with an ambitious young woman. It's a journey that began with a middle school lesson and turned into a world record. A Bozeman teen has done what few can even dream of, becoming the youngest woman to climb the highest mountain on every continent. From the peaks of Denali to the summit of Mount Everest, Emma and her father tackled the grueling 7 summits side by side.
Imagine climbing Mount Everest. A pretty big accomplishment, right? Well, now imagine doing that at the age of 17. Throw in Kilimanjaro, Denali, and the rest of the highest peaks from every continent, and you'd be imagining the life of Emma Schwarin, the youngest woman in the world to climb the 7 summits.
Where are you, Emma?
We are at the summit of Mount Blanc. There's France.
At the age of 5, Emma and her family moved to Bozeman, and you may think the mountains of Montana are what inspired her to start this climbing journey, but in reality,
When I was in 8th grade, my English class did a unit on Mount Everest. It inspired me. Then we were like, let's go to Everest Base Camp. And so the next day, we decided to book a trip.
a trip that made Emma decide she was going to be the youngest woman to climb the 7 summits. And if you're unfamiliar with the 7 summits, they're the highest peaks on every continent, including North America's own Mount Denali, an elevation of over 20,000 feet, and the tallest mountain in the world, Everest, rising over 29,000 feet. And Emma admits,
We, at the time when we decided to do it, didn't know anything about mountaineering.
but that didn't stop her or her father Sam from helping her accomplish this goal. After researching guide companies and heading to Bolivia for a mountaineering prep course, it was time to start her journey. In November of 2023, she headed to Australia to climb Mount Kosciuszko.
Yeah, it was our first of the 7 summits, and at the time, I had no idea what I had gotten myself into.
Next up, Kilimanjaro, then Denali.
I remember thinking every day on Denali, this was the hardest day of my life. And then the next day would happen and I'd be like, this was the hardest day of my life. The great thing about Denali was every day I kept proving to myself that I could do it.
After summiting Mount Blanc, Aconcagua, and Vinson, she saved the biggest for last, Mount Everest.
I think the hardest part about Everest is the length of it. It just has a different kind of mental challenge.
A month and a half on the mountain, but Emma was determined to set this world record. On May 15th, after a long journey and a face full of frostbite, she summited Mount Everest.
I think that I was just in so much shock, really, that it was all happening and that, like, all of our hard work was coming to kind of this one point.
Emma Schwarin had just become the youngest woman in the world to climb the 7 summits at just 17 years old. For her father, Sam, who climbed each summit side by side with her,
I feel really proud about the impact she's having on the world and on young adults and on us adults to say, hey, don't judge us, young people. There's a lot we can do if you stay out of our way. I couldn't be more proud and appreciative of that.
because the message Emma hopes to share with all young women across the globe,
My goal is to inspire young girls to see that they can do anything they set their minds to, because, I mean, you can achieve crazy things if you just tell yourself you can do it.
in Bozeman, Cassidy Powers, MTN News.
It's a tribute carved in stone, honoring the unwavering dedication of a man who spent decades fighting for Montana's veterans. A granite bench now sits outside the Southwest Montana Veterans Home in Butte, dedicated to Robert Pavlovich, the Army veteran and former legislator whose tireless work helped make the facility a reality.
The Southwest Montana Veterans Home here in Butte was built largely on the efforts of Robert Pavlovich. And that's why this bench is being dedicated to him to honor a legacy that is as solid as the granite this bench is made of.
2, 1.
If it wasn't for Bob Pavlovich, this Veterans Home would not be here. You can take that to the bank and spend it. That's the guy who did it.
During an emotional ceremony, a granite bench was dedicated and placed outside the front office of the Veterans Home that Pavlovich pushed for many years to get built during his time with the Montana legislature.
You know, my heart is proud. You know, those are shoes that you realize you'll never fill a man like his shoes. 30 years he worked to get this here. 30 years he never gave up.
As an Army veteran, Pavlovich spent his last years as a resident at the Veterans Home he helped get started before passing away at age 95.
Thank God he has good Yugoslavian bones in him, and he lasted until 95. So he got to see it. He got to see the fruits of his labor. Who else can ask for more than that in a lifetime?
Fritz Daly told those gathered at the ceremony he believes his friend is still doing work for veterans, even after his death.
I think that Jesus needed a little help, and he said, I'm going to bring Bobby up here to help me. We got some veterans with PTSD and whatever, and they need some help. And Bobby, you're up there. I know he's up there, looking down on us.
In Butte, John Amy, MTN News.
America's military members fight for our freedoms each and every day, but it's no secret that once their service is over, veterans can have a challenging time re-immersing themselves into society. There's one group hoping to solve that issue, connecting veterans with local service providers.
It's a beautiful day.
It's a celebration of those involved with the Veterans Upward Bound and Federal Outreach and Student Services Programs TRIO.
Veterans that have been in the Veterans Upward Bound program in the last year and years past.
And a celebration of their achievements.
Whether it's going to school or a new job, graduating.
Timothy Newman, a U.S. Marine Corps vet, joining in at the 3rd annual barbecue.
Seeing a lot more veterans and just TRIO staff coming together is really great to see everyone.
He's also thankful for the new opportunity these programs are providing.
I used VUB to get back into college after almost a decade of being away from school.
Adding, VUB made the transition easy.
It put me at ease.
Mike Wolf, the assistant director at VUB, saying that's what it's all about.
If a veteran wants to go to school, we help identify their strengths and weaknesses and then help them build on those weaknesses so that they're better prepared to go to school.
The transition can sometimes be challenging.
Taking a look at what their needs are, what their ideas are.
Providing solutions to those confusing times.
And then kind of filling in those gaps as far as what are their options.
Bringing us back to today.
We're celebrating all our participants in Montana.
Hannah Romick, once a student, now an academic counselor in the Upward program.
Just in the Billings area alone, we serve over 2,000 individuals every year that are high school students, that are adults in the community, that are veterans.
Hannah saying she too is grateful for all the TRIO programs.
TRIO changed the course of my life. I wasn't going to go to college.
And on this day, celebrating what they can do for the community.
Helping low-income and first-generation students succeed and find their place and find some support that they might not have otherwise.
In Billings, Hannah Pettiferry, MTN News.
After 3 decades, a summer lunch program for kids in Butte, Whitehall, and Deer Lodge is kicking off another season. The program's new director, along with a dedicated volunteer, are handing out free lunches in the park.
For about 3 decades, a vital summer lunch program has been helping nourish Butte kids, and today is the first day of the 2025 season.
We have friends. I mean, they're our friends. For years, they come and we visit.
Linda Skinner is one of over 120 volunteers involved with Action Inc.'s free summer meals program that serves kids 18 and under at 17 locations in Butte, Deer Lodge, and Whitehall. She and a friend have been holding down the site at Clark Park for years.
I just knew it was feeding our community, free meals, let's go for it.
Funding for the summer lunch program is provided through the United States Department of Agriculture and the Montana Office of Public Instruction, as well as community donations. According to data from a research group, almost 50% of Montana kids qualify for free and reduced lunch. The summer program fills the gaps for those kids who may go without breakfast or lunch.
Just to be looking for a meal is very difficult. And if this is the service that we can provide to get them through that day, then that's what we're here to do.
Erica Johnson is Action Inc.'s new Summer Meals Program Director. She says in 2024, volunteers handed out over 60,000 meals.
Where would kids go get food if they couldn't stop here?
That's a really good question. You know, I know that we have the food bank and things like that, but that easily accessible meal for the children is found right here at these sites.
How many do we have today?
With the exception of 2 days around the 4th of July, the program runs through August 16th, and you can head to our website for a list of locations. In Butte, Megan Thompson, MTN News.
It's a different kind of workday for dozens of Missoula volunteers, one that trades desks and screens for dirt and shovels. The United Way Day of Action brought together more than 100 volunteers eager to give back, helping local nonprofits with everything from gardening to cleaning up projects across the city.
On this United Way Day of Action, it calls for volunteers to step away from their desk and into the dirt. On this day of action, local nonprofits receive help from over 100 volunteers that dispersed all over Missoula Friday.
I think it's just emblematic of who we are as a community and definitely of what United Way does.
This team of Stockman Bank is one of many groups of volunteers who dedicated their time to support Garden City Harvest through gardening and landscaping.
I've been doing this now 5 years. We always kind of get involved with the Day of Action event. It's a lot of fun. It kind of gets our hands dirty and kind of shows support for the community, so it's good.
Despite the rainy weather, this team cultivated fresh bean beds, weeding everything out of the way, and did the same in the potato fields.
Missoula does a great job at showing community support, and you just kind of feel the reward being out here in the rain and in the passing weather by, you know, pulling the weeds from the food that feeds everybody around here. So.
Other volunteer groups around Missoula included Elks Insurance, Clearwater Credit Union, Blackfoot Communications, Daly's Meats, and First Interstate Bank, just to list a few.
We've got people packing food at the food bank, we've got people gardening and landscaping, we've got folks cleaning up Bancroft Pond.
It gives the volunteers a chance to get out of the office and into the community to help their neighbors in need.
I think they get excited because most of the folks here have indoor desky computery jobs, and here they get to just get dirty and scrap and kind of have fun with each other. So
in Missoula, Cynthia Carranza, MTN News.
Still to come on this edition of Positively Montana, white teepees light up the Billings skyline. See how the Crow tribe is honoring a powerful leader and building a healthier future, all from a historic hilltop. Stay with us. Welcome back to Positively Montana, a powerful symbol rising above the landscape. White teepees standing tall at the Four Dances recreation area. It's a tribute to Crow heritage and healing as the Rocky Mountain Tribal Leaders Council and the Crow tribe honor their past and invest in the future. From spiritual fasting to new health programs, the gathering is a blend of tradition and transformation.
Everyone that's here is on Crow country and Upsalogat country, that this is our land.
If you visit the Four Dances recreation area, you will notice white teepees lining the rims. Crow Tribal Health Director Leanne Bruisthead said that's because the tribe is working with the Rocky Mountain Tribal Leaders Council to celebrate the programs that honor its heritage.
We're trying to decolonize some of the language and how we describe our services in making it a more positive approach to providing care.
The Tribal Health Improvement Program aims to make sure members can still access tribal healing practices to address chronic disease, mental health, and substance abuse. While the Crow tribe is ensuring its culture lives on in the future, the tribe is also honoring its past.
They're commemorating Four Dances, a Crow Nation leader who fasted in the area right next to where I'm standing.
Four Dances stayed here for 4 days, never had water, never had food.
The tribe member who initiated the event, Jim Realbird, still speaks the Crow language. For him, this event is a spiritual experience. Like Four Dances, Realbird is fasting too. And for him, that means connecting with nature as well.
I've been standing in the sun since this morning pretty early, and I'm not shading up yet because this is only half of a day now.
The teepees will light up at night through Friday. If you would like to see them, you can visit the Four Dances Trail or view them from Interstate 90. In Billings, Vanessa Willardson, MTN News.
Summer is in full swing, and so are the adventures at the Great Northern Llama Company in Columbia Falls. From scenic hikes to hands-on experiences with the herd, it's a unique Montana outing where anyone, young or old, can make a new furry friend.
Summer has started, and so have llama experiences with the Great Northern Llama Company. And the best part is anyone can have fun with the llamas.
They're super cute. I'm really excited to meet them.
The Great Northern Llama Company in Columbia Falls offers summer activities for all ages, including llama tours, an easy walk where participants can lead llamas to the breeding pastures. Llama treks include a 2 to 3 mile hike near the Swan Range, teaching participants to pack, saddle, and lead their own llamas while exploring local wildlife. Owner and operator Jamie Rolfing brings 45 years of family history to these new experiences, which begin with his parents, Sue and Steve Rolfing.
We started an outfitting business in the Swan and Mission Mountains. We take folks out for 4 or 5 days at a time, doing pack trips with llamas, and that's what I grew up doing with my father.
After Jamie finished his time in the Army, there was an itch that he could not scratch: his family's llama ranch. And in 2018, he and his wife Sarah decided to follow in the family footsteps, but with a twist.
We decided to start the business back up, but to focus it more just on the property itself to make it more accessible for families.
Now that everyone in the family can spend quality time with the llamas, Jamie and Sarah have also made sure it can be fit into busy schedules as well.
So we tailored it to being convenient, close to town, and people can fit it into just a morning or an afternoon and still be able to get out and do whatever else.
Between the uniqueness, history, and the accessibility of the experiences with the Great Northern Llama Company, it is something that is sure to bring a smile to everyone's face.
This is a truly unique Montana experience in all ways, shapes, and forms. Not only because this is a family ranch, people get to have a sneak preview of what ranch life looks like, from the beginning of a tour, just learning about our family history doing this, all the way to the end where they've somewhat cultivated a relationship with the llamas.
In Columbia Falls, Maddie Kiefer, MTN News.
Still to come on this edition of Positively Montana, pickleball is taking over Great Falls. And now there's a new work league bringing coworkers, competition, and community together on the court. That story when we come back. Welcome back to Positively Montana. Pickleball isn't just a popular pastime, it's a sport with powerful physical, mental, and social benefits, whether you're a beginner or a seasoned player.
If you want to get out and about this summer, you should head over to the Great Falls Pickleball Courts, especially because they're going to be having a Great Falls Pickleball Club Work League coming up.
It's a game for everyone of all ages.
It is the fastest growing sport in the United States right now, and it's exploded, especially since COVID.
Ann Schmidt is the secretary of the Electric City Pickleball Club and says that it's a great, fun way to stay physically active.
Anything that is recreational and anything that is physically active, I think people are searching for those kinds of opportunities.
Dwayne Sutphin had only been playing for about a year when he was asked to join the board.
I wanted to, do my part to help promote pickleball in Great Falls.
This summer, they are offering a Great Falls Work League.
Businesses or organizations in town can get a group of 4 to 6 people together for this work league, and they'll play against other teams each week.
A fun way to further unite businesses in the Electric City.
You're in a bit of a competition, but you're also meeting other players from other businesses or from around town.
And they encourage everyone, regardless of skill, to stop by.
We welcome new players, we welcome players from out of town.
Because even if you aren't the best on the court, you'll leave with new companionship.
Pickleball is such a social sport that, that just promotes that too.
In Great Falls, I'm Tommy Lynch, MTN News.
Whether it's the Flathead River at sunset, a rainbow over plains, or the sky above Arley, Lisa Sickles shares it all. She's been a loyal viewer of her local MTN channel for years. But more than that, she's also been capturing some of the most simple yet endearing portraits of life in western Montana.
With smartphones these days, many of us take pictures all the time without much thought. But for some, it can spark a larger passion.
That's my favorite picture.
Viewer Lisa Sickles sends beautiful pictures to KPAX nearly every day. And as reporters do, we got curious about the person on the other side of the lens.
Well, I'm not a photographer. I just do it for fun.
She takes pictures of pretty much everything.
Well, my grandkids, of course, but my dogs, but just the flowers and the scenery.
Some start at her home in Plains.
Our picture window out here has the Thompson Falls Valley, and it changes every night. So it's like a big living window picture that we get sunsets and sunrises in.
Some are further from home.
Sometimes we end up in Thompson Falls, sometimes we end up in the Bitterroot, wherever.
She and her husband set out on all sorts of little adventures, especially after a long day of work.
Just go for a walk or go for a little drive, or on weekends we'll go for a drive and see where we end up.
Then she'll get inspired.
It's always spur of the moment.
And she captures those moments with her phone.
Just when I see something that I really like, I'll just take a picture of it. I don't really go out to take a picture of things.
But she's gotten some amazing spontaneous shots of western Montana's beautiful mountains, rivers, and wildlife.
On the river down here over by Paradise is my favorite spot over there, because if you sit on the river, the water is so green on the Flathead River, and there's sheep over there that come down sometimes, and the ducks and the geese, and oh, that's my favorite.
And she loves to share those moments.
It makes me happy, so especially if I'm having a bad day, I'll go take pictures and I just feel good. And I get to send them to people, and especially my mom, because she's stuck in her house a little more than she used to be, and it makes her happy. I send them to my kids and drive them crazy, but it makes a lot of people happy, so hopefully they like them as much as I do.
In Plains, Caroline Weiss, MTN News.
We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Positively Montana. I'm Hallie Schwarin, and we'll see you right back here next week.